This is the second video in a series that will show you how to diagnose and fix Whirlpool and Kenmore dryers. This one's dealing with a dryer that won't start and the thermal fuse and checking it and replacing if necessary. Safety first, so always disconnect power before servicing any electrical appliance. Here's the back of the dryer, and the first thing we have to do to test the thermal fuse is get to it. So we have to remove the back panel. It has like 9 1/4-inch screws all the way around it. So just use a 1/4-inch nut driver or 1/4-inch socket, or I'm using a power tool with a 1/4-inch adapter on it. Remove all 9 of the screws, and then we can lay the back down and take it off. So let me get those off. The one screw that holds the terminal cover plate also holds on the back as well, so it has to come off as well. And so just when you take that screw off, just catch the terminal plate cover and set it aside. I usually leave one of the screws at the top for last, that way the panel doesn't just fall off on me. The bottom is actually hinged in, so it has a lip that it sets in so it won't come apart down there. Okay, the power cable on this dryer does not have a strain relief clamp on it, if you've already noticed, and so that's something that needs to be installed also as part of this. To remove the back, just move the power cable out of the way and lean the back all the way down towards the floor, and then that hinge part will just pull straight up. So lean it real far to angle, and then it'll just come right off. Set that aside. Here's the back of the dryer, what you see on the inside with everything labeled. What we're mainly going to be interested in is pretty much right in the middle there, the blower box thermal fuse and the operating thermostat or thermistor. Some models have a thermistor instead of a thermostat down at the bottom. They're right next to each other, and they're on the blower box. Here's what that service label says, because I know you couldn't see it in the picture very clearly. And you'll notice on electrical models it says for heater box thermal cutoff is open, then you would replace it and the thermostat. And then on the blower box, if the thermal fuse is open, you replace it and the thermostat, operating thermostat. So first thing I'm going to do here to test it is remove the wires from the thermal fuse. It's a little white thing there I just took the wires off of. I'm using a volt ohm meter on a low ohm setting, and if it's good it'll have less than 1 ohm, which this is 0.003, so 0.003 of an ohm of resistance. If it's bad, of course, it'll be open, so you would get no reading at all. It'll just, whatever your ohm meter says before you start the test is what it'll continue to say. If it had been bad, you'll want to replace it. So first thing you do is remove the 1 1/4-inch screw that's holding it on, and then just lean that part where the screw was out a little bit, and then it pulls up. There's a little notch for the other end that holds it in, and then just do the reverse to reinstall it for your new one. Notch it in and then snap it in place, and then take that 1/4 screw, 1/4-inch screw, and put it back on there. And then remember to put the wires back on exactly where they came from. The second part of this repair is if the thermal fuse is bad on the blower box area, you should also go ahead and replace the thermostat, the operating thermostat, as well. It has a 1/4-inch screw that holds it on, and like I said, some models may have a thermistor, and same thing, just go ahead and replace the thermistor if that's what your model has. It's very simple. Just take all the wires off. The 2 big ones go on the big terminals, so you can't put them where the purple ones go because the red ones have a larger spade on them, and they'll be only go one way. So just take those off, get your new one, and then reinstall the wires back in the same place. Probably be better off getting your new parts before you take all these wires off. That way you can do it right then and remember exactly where everything goes. You just snap them back on. The 2 purple ones are the operating thermostat, and the 2 larger ones are well, they're both operating thermostats. One's one temperature, one's another temperature. So just slot it back in where it was, and then put the 1/4-inch screw back on it. You now need to make sure the exhaust vent is cleaned out of any lint, and also make sure the dryer vent hose is clear as well. A blocked or restricted exhaust system is usually what causes this thermal fuse to fail. I'll do another video to show you how to take the blower box apart and clean it out as well. Now, to install the back, like I said, there's a lip down at the bottom, so let me show you what that looks like. And you want that lip to go in the ledge on the bottom of the dryer unit. And to reinstall it, you have to lean it towards you first, just like it came off, had to be leaned forward to pull off. Lean it towards you, and be careful not to cut yourself on this thing. It's very sharp on the edges all the way around it, so when dealing with these metal parts, always be careful not to cut yourself. Lean it way down towards the floor and it should snap right in, or the hinge should sit right into place, and then fold it straight up. I'm kind of holding it with my hand there, and then I'm going to start putting on the screws. And there's 9 of them, I believe, so I'll just go ahead and get those 9 screws in place and put them in. There's 9 including the one that holds the terminal cover plate on as well. On that terminal cover plate, the way you reinstall it, of course, is the same way it came off. There's a little tab on the side of it, and you just put that tab into the slot on the body of the dryer and then fold it closed or swing it closed, and then put the screw in that goes through the terminal plate cover and the back unit. You have to line up the holes there, and then just go ahead and get your screw started and then tighten it down as well. Once all the screws are back on the back panel, go ahead and hook it up to the air vent and plug it in and test it. You need to find your outside vent and make sure that you have good strong airflow. If not, you have a restriction. You need to find what it is and repair it or fix it so it won't pop the thermal fuse again. That completes the repair of the thermal fuse on a Kenmore or Whirlpool electric dryer.